Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Thursday, January 13, 2021. Jeremy Crosby. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Glad you're with us here. Andrew and I are ready to bring you another great TF on a Thirsty Thursday. Thirsty Thursday is probably not the best thing to say on a news program, but on a radio, it's kind of cool. But Thirsty Thursday for coffee, Andrew. Coffee. Yeah, nothing else. Remember that. We got a great show coming up for you. We'll be talking about winter weather safety with Fitchburg EMS. Jeff Doslick will be here, Deputy Chief of Fitchburg EMS. Plus, we'll check in with the Historical Society as they continue their series, talking about how COVID-19 affected area businesses, nonprofits, and more. We'll head out to Quivy's Grove today and be talking about that coming up. So a lot to get to here in the show. We'll start with your headlines today and free mass pickups. That's right. Duns Marsh neighborhood putting on free mass pickups here. We got the dates and times for you on your screen. And basically for noon to 6 p.m., that's kind of the window there, Monday through Fridays there on your screen. They're at the Boys and Girls Club of Allied Family Center in Fitchburg, 4619 Genuine Road here in Fitchburg. More information, you can check out the Dunmarsh Facebook page. We'll share the link where we got this, so you know you can find that information, or you can check in with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County here in Fitchburg. Virtual housing seminar to tell you about, happening on January 19th, and here's what it says. Join us for a 30-minute virtual Zoom presentation on fair housing. This is an important topic that will cover services and when to contact our organization, federal, state, local fair housing laws, red flags of housing discrimination, enforcing fair housing laws, common types of housing discrimination. Taylor from Fair Housing Wisconsin will be the presenter. If you'd like to register, please visit the website of the Fitchburg Senior Center, which is at fitchburgwi.gov. You can go to the Senior Center, find their programs of registration, and then you can Zoom this event. Or you can come down to the Senior Center and watch it on the big screen if you don't know how to do the virtual piece there. So either way, get that on your calendar, January 19th at 1 p.m. Balloon Basics for Balance, a new program coming to the Fitchburg Senior Center. Check this out, Balloons for Balance. Ballroom, I'm sorry. Thank God Andrew can talk to me. I got to turn this up so I can hear him. Andrew says it's ballroom, not ball. Why can't it be balloon basics? Oh my gosh, why do I keep coming back? Ballroom Basics for Balance. Coming in March of 2022, we'll be offering new exercise class. Ballroom Basics for Balance is a fun way for you to regain your balance and have fun while doing it. Maybe I should just do this so I can learn how to dance and say ballroom. Before the series kicks off, though, we will be offering a free demo class. If you don't have access to a computer, feel free to call the front desk at the Senior Center, 608-270-4290. For those of you who have filled out the form on our programming page, all the information will be found there. And then it says, although the demo class is almost full, don't hesitate to call. Maybe they'll still have space for you. Never know, Andrew. We should sign up. What do you say? Ice is never 100% safe. And as we come up to our free ice fishing weekend, I thought we should throw this in for some ice safety. That's right, ice is never 100% safe, so make sure that you think twice before you head out on the ice. And kind of giving you a perspective here with this graphic on thickness of ice and kind of a weight by picture. So on 2 inches of ice or less, it's not safe. Remember, ice is never 100% safe. 4 inches of ice, well, that's probably where you can start supporting for ice fishing and walking. And then when you get up to 5 inches, support groups like ice skaters and more. 6 inches or more, you're looking at where the snowmobiles and ATVs can go on there. Make sure you check the lake and DNR for the rules about that for ATVs and snowmobiles. Cars and then even bigger vehicles, you're looking at the 9-inch thick to 12-inch thick. And of course, we always see those stories every year of vehicles or shanties that didn't get off the lake in time. You don't want to be on that because that's going to cost you a lot of money. All right, last story here. Better Business Bureau scam wants to warn everybody about COVID-19 fake tests. Yeah, this has been nationwide brought out this past week, and want to make sure that we talk about this. So what are we talking about? Well, want a test? Talk to your doctor. Research before buying. Understand all the options. Never share your personal information with strangers, and check claims of FDA approval to make sure that it is a real test, because these fake sites, yeah, not so good. It says here, if you want to test, talk to your doctor and reach out to your healthcare provider. They can figure out if the tests will be covered by insurance and where to find a legitimate clinic. If you do not have a primary care physician, check out the official website of your local health department for more information on testing and availability. There is changes to free testing now at home, so you can check that out. But if you got any additional questions or we should report scams, you can check out BBB for more information, and Public Health of Madison and Dane County for the health guidelines on testing, making sure there is no scams. All right, that does it for us. Coming up next, we're going to do some digest work. We're talking winter weather safety with my friend Jeff Doslick, Fitchburg EMS, next right here on TF.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus, so follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Me to bed, see you in the morning with the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it, and we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready?
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today from Fitch-Rona EMS. Jeff Doslick. I wanted to say in the game, but it's EA,
in the game.
not EMS.
Doo-doo.
Close enough. Boom, indeed. Jeff, Happy New Year. Welcome to the show. How you doing today, sir?
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well. It's good to be back.
Glad to have you here. And we're going to talk, given the time of season, winter weather safety. We just went through kind of a cold spell. We're on the warm up, but given it is, I'm going to just say it's the middle of winter. I don't whether it is or officially isn't, who cares? But we want to talk safety. And I think first and foremost, when people think winter safety, they automatically think about the cold weather and dressing up and whatnot. But what do you see first off, just for winter weather emergencies related to the cold weather? What are some of the transports or calls you would be going on?
Yeah, so typically we're going to see things like frostbite, hypothermia, just regular cold exposure. And there's a couple of things that you can do to eliminate or minimize some of those things. But I would say probably the top two are going to be the hypothermia from just being outside, and then frostbite from just not wearing the proper clothing, especially on your toes and on your fingers and your hands and nose and ears and stuff like that.
Well, let's talk about some of the ways of preventing it, and then just some of the warning signs where we may want to call 911 because we're in trouble.
Sure. So obviously, be prepared, kind of keep an eye out on the weather. Make sure that you understand what the cold exposure is going to be for the day. The wind chill factors, obviously, it could be 15 degrees outside with a wind chill factor of -20, so it's going to be obviously very cold outside. And just being prepared. So things that I would be concerned about, if you have young children, just making sure that they're dressed warm, making sure that they've got gloves and hats and boots, all that warm stuff that's going to keep them, and then try not to keep them out in the cold very long. I know, especially if there's no school or kids are getting back to school, or maybe school's closed now for a while with the COVID stuff, that they're outside playing, that they're not outside too long, and that you keep an eye out on them. The other thing I think that is important is to make sure that your car and that you're prepping in the event that something does happen on the side of the road. So if you were watching the news last week or the week before when they had a big winter storm out east and all these cars were stuck up on the interstate, people were out there for an extended period of time, 24 hours plus. And while that doesn't happen that often, it certainly can. But little things like you're driving on a country road and you slip off the road with some ice or slippery conditions, and now you're stuck for a while before you can have somebody come and get you. So making sure that you have a couple of warm blankets, extra stuff in your car for warming your hands or your feet, some water, something to drink, food, just like little snacks. And I remember one of the people that was interviewed on that out east incident asked how they survived for 24 hours, and she had actually had put some water in the car because they were just on a regular 4-hour trip and had extra snacks available, which really kind of saved their bacon for 24 hours. So just thinking about all the things that could happen, and if you're sitting in that situation, how prepared you should be for that. Hats, hand warmers, the hand warmers that you can pick up at any of the stores that you can put in your gloves that'll warm up your hands and your feet. I think those things are important.
Yeah, and specifically on that one, I think of the vehicles that were running around you, and CO poisoning. Like, you never really hear that and happening in there. And certainly it's a storm, so maybe there was some wind and stuff. But even cracking your window a little bit and taking those precautions, or if you were in a snowbank or something, and making sure you're clear of that exhaust pipe out so you don't suffocate. Certainly, all other things related. And Jeff, at home, if you are stuck at home and having a smoke detector, CO detector for monitoring, certainly important. But CO poisoning, real quick, if somebody's didn't have it or the alarm goes off and they're feeling sick, what do you recommend that they're doing? Or besides calling 911, what would be some of those symptoms?
So if your CO detector goes off, I wouldn't take a chance that it's a battery or a mechanical problem. Call 911, evacuate the house as soon as you can. What we want to try and do is, we don't ask you to open up a whole bunch of windows and go through that process, because when the fire department gets there, the first thing we're going to do is put our detector in the door and see if there is CO. And then we can go around the house and try to figure out what's actually causing the problem. So just evacuate the home, go to a neighbor's. This is a case of being prepared, making sure you have boots and hats and all that stuff so that you can stand outside for a short period of time. And then, make sure you call 911 so that we can come in and check it out. If you're feeling those, you're just feeling sick, you're feeling lightheaded, the problem with CO is odorless and tasteless. So you don't know that it's happening. Don't take a chance on, well, I've just got maybe it's the flu. If you have any sort of inkling that it could be CO, just call. And we will come and check it out. And then certainly, if there's a fix to it right away, we'll do that. And if you do have CO poisoning, then we'll take you to the hospital, make sure that you get checked out.
Yeah, it's something that we might not always think about during the cold weather season, or just, whatever part of the year. It's an important thing to talk about. Finally, I do think of falls in the wintertime definitely go up here in Wisconsin, unfortunately. So quickly, just a couple of fall safety tips for you, or that you could share with us to stay safe this winter.
Yep. Don't fall. That would be a good safety tip.
Don't fall. You heard it right here first. Yeah.
Right. Rocket science over on this side. Just being prepared. A lot of stuff that we talk about here is kind of awareness of what we should be doing all the time, but just being aware of, what could be slippery, what maybe looks slippery, and taking your time. There really isn't any reason to run through a parking lot to get to your car, even if it's snowing outside, or if you don't have a chance to shovel in the morning before you leave the house. Using handrails that are built to, just kind of shuffling your feet as you're walking, you are in conditions. And if you do happen to fall, and obviously if you're injured, make sure that, you call 911, we can come and check you out. Especially those are patients that are anticoagulated. So you're taking Eliquis or Coumadin, something like that, especially if you happen to hit your head. Those are definitely reasons for you to go to the hospital and be checked out. Even though you might think that it's minor, it's really not that minor. So make sure that you, call 911 and have somebody come and check you out if that's the case. And again, being prepared, like I know that, because I'm a paramedic, I happen to run outside in my car and I don't always throw my coat on, and my gloves are in my pocket, or they're maybe in the car somewhere because I just don't think about that. But if you happen to fall and you're not prepared, now you're laying outside. And if you're an older adult and you can't get up, or any adult for that matter, if you can't get up, now you're sitting out in the middle of your driveway somewhere with no protection at all, and it's 5 below 0 wind chill factor. So just making sure that, and check your neighbors. I think the one thing we should talk about is making sure that you're keeping an eye out on your neighbors, for CO reasons. If for some reason you don't see them and their cars are in the driveway, if they're older adults, that they have all the things that they need. A lot of times older adults, to save money, will turn their heat down, to make sure that they're staying warm and they're having food and all that kind of stuff. And certainly, if it's something you're uncomfortable with and you think that there's an issue, you can always call 911. We can always do a welfare check. I'm kind of speaking on behalf of the police department now, but if we need to do a welfare check and get services to some of the people that are out there, please don't hesitate to do that, because really the last thing we want is somebody to be hungry and to be cold and to be lonely. And so those are things that we need to pay attention to.
All right, Jeff. Well, thank you so much for the great tips. Certainly follow the Facebook page and website for Fitchrona, because you're looking at the guy right here on the screen that updates it periodically. So, Jeff, we appreciate your time as always. We'll check in with you again real soon.
Okay, my pleasure. Have a good day.
Right. You as well. Fitchrona EMS doing a great job out there, and take extra steps to be ready all year long, but especially here in these cold times. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching TF.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
First of all, COVID was nothing you could have ever planned for, and that goes for everybody. It just took us by surprise. I happened to be on vacation in Utah skiing at the time when I got an email on, I believe it was March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, that the edict came out that closed down every restaurant in the county from the county health department. We had to close down as of 4 o'clock. St. Patrick's Day, everything was prepared, ready to go, looking for a full house, etc. Closed down, I get this email and I'm going, wow, what's going on back home? 2 days later, we finish up skiing in Utah and all the resorts closed down. And so we make our way back, and I get back here. I have been a little bit out of the loop and get together with my team, and we are closed, and we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's happening. We're just closed and waiting for, you know, some guidance of what we can do, etc. So we ended up being closed completely for almost 3 weeks. And then we were able to get things together and institute a plan, and we turned 100% to takeout. And of course, that was sort of new to us. It's a whole different type of operation. We had always done some takeouts, but it's like, oh, on a Friday night we'd do 15, 20 fish orders takeout. Normal days we'd have 2 or 3 takeout orders. All of a sudden we have to transform the whole thing. We have to get all the new takeout cartons, all the different to-go type of stuff. Of course, everybody in the country is trying to convert to this. So everything that you're seeing that you want to get is out of stock. So it was interesting. It was just trying to find what we could, and it changed constantly. But we converted to takeout, and thank goodness for our loyal customers. It was so surprising. On Friday night, we normally, on a normal Friday night at that time of year, we would be doing close to 500 people. Suddenly, we're doing 500 plus takeout orders. The response from our customers was just overwhelming. And so this was a plan that we refined and just trying to get a grasp on it, and we did pretty well. It was amazing how we were able to convert and act and do this smoothly, and it just became a production line, and it was really pretty encouraging. And so that's what kept us going. So we were doing this takeout, and then about the end of May, we were able to start doing or sit-down dining. Customers, whether it was outside or inside, under new rules that we had to operate at 25% capacity, with tables distanced 6 feet, etc. And it's like, well, okay. 25% capacity is hardly enough to really make things happen, but it was a start. We were also very lucky to have our outdoor space. And so whereas most restaurants were struggling to find a way or a space to be able to do things outside, we already had a space in place that we could just turn to. And so we were able to set up outside and still do a terrific amount of dining, serving the local customers. And they responded. It was really encouraging. We lost all of our weddings that summer. We had a pretty solid bookings of weddings, lost them all. Every other special event we lost, but we hung in there with what we could do. It was a struggle because it was all new and learned and a step forward and step back. We'd try this. Okay, that doesn't work. Come back, reorganize, try again. Finding what items we could do and do successfully, traveled well, that people wanted, etc. It was a trying time, but fortunately, our customers stayed with us, and our employees stayed with us. It was from the get-go. Our intention was to maintain our employees and take care of our employees. We had run our business all these years with the idea that we were doing this for the long haul instead of short-term profits, et cetera. So financially, we were pretty strong going into this. And so we made a commitment to our employees that we would retain them as best we could. We were paying employees, and often they weren't working, but we were able to keep them. And consequently, we have most of our core staff still with us today. That was one of the good things that has come out of it. So that worked pretty well for a long time until the outdoors shut down.
You came in at the winter of 2021.
We came back to the winter season, yeah, and so things then got really pretty scarce again. And we were still under this restriction of 25% capacity, et cetera. But we were now trying to mix dining and to-go orders, and that put a whole nother strain on our kitchen and our staff, that we're doing two things that are kind of different. And but I got to hand it to the staff. They hung in there. They executed. They did it, and we came out of that worst period pretty good.
Como padre, todos los días son un desafío y hay que estar ahí presentes. No importa lo cansado que uno esté, hay que estar ahí presentes para ellos. Cuando los niños aprenden algo nuevo, es ese momento mágico y especial, y creo que presenciar ese momento es mi favorito.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, wrapping up the show for the day. I want to thank Jeff Dostlik for Fitchburg and EMS helping us out with that winter weather safety. And I want to thank Catherine Schneider from the Fitchburg Historical Society conducting the COVID-19 interviews, and Dave from Quibby's Grove sharing some great information. You can see the full interview of both of these up right here on our Facebook and YouTube page. And, well, stay safe out there. Check on your loved ones, for goodness sake.